Hey folks, Jay here with First Direct Corp. Just wanted to make a real quick video for something I created for a client, um, and something a lot of clients could use is a CSV file import into GoldMine. Um, this is a very specific app, but ideally we could modify this to import data from a CSV file into your GoldMine or any GoldMine for that matter. Basically, this is all hosted locally, so this app is not something that's available to the outside world. It's not hosted on a domain. It's something that would only be used in the office for users on your network. And ideally, this is localhost, but this localhost could be the localhost is my PC, but ideally this could be a server, is a server name, so this would be hosted on a server in your office that all your users on your network could use to import data into Goldmine from a CSV file. And the client that I did this for, this particular one, they had a need not necessarily to import contact records, they had a need to import detail records. So let me show you that real quick. I've created a test record here, and ideally they're not importing new context, they're importing new details into existing records based on a matching uh, account number. They have an account number. That number is unique for every record in Goldmine. I'm only got one here for the purpose of this demonstration, but let me show you it. So I've got an app here. It's hosted on my computer here with the web-based RESTful API that we've written for Goldmine. Basically, you choose your file. So there's going to be a template that you have for the imports, right? You're going to have a certain format that you're going to use to import data into Goldmine every time. Basically, what this app is doing is extracting the data out of the CSV file and putting it into this data table. There's 7,070 rows of information that needs to be imported into Goldmine. Again, each one of these has a unique key 3 value. So this key 3 here, if you notice that, that's the key 3 that I've put in this contact record here. That's the value that I've inserted in this test record in my Goldmine. And basically, for this client that I wrote this for, each one of these numbers matches up to a contact record. I'm going to create a detail. So these are the detailed information that needs to get imported into Goldmine. This is very specific for his business, but this could technically be contact information. It could be company name, contact name, phone, address, city, email, website, right? Custom fields. It could be additional contact info as well. Maybe there's a wife and you want that to create additionals. Ideally, we can take data in a CSV file and create a custom import project for you to basically upload the file. Now, the one thing you'll notice, this has automatically checked all the rows in this import. So all the rows inside, all 7,070 are automatically checked and ready to be imported. It's gone ahead and unselected the top row. And in this template, this customer's needs are very specific. So I know that the first row in his CSV file is key 3, and the second row column is the detail field, and the third is reference. So basically, we'd set up a template for you for your imports. If you had a specific import project you needed, like it's always going to be the same. It's going to be company, it's going to be contact, it's going to be their phone, it's going to be their address, it's going to be their email address, it's going to be those columns, right? You're going to have a very specific format you're going to have your data in. And basically, we can import that data into Goldmine to create records, update records, create details, etc. But with this customer, let me just go ahead and minimize this here because I have my stop sharing thing in the way. Let me move that out of the way. There we go. And there's a little import data thing down here. What I'm going to do, because I don't need to import all these because I only have one. I'll just do a few here so you can see it. This one's going to import. All these others are going to fail because there's no matching record in Goldmine, and you'll see that it's going to tell us which ones were successful, which ones were not. So basically, we just import the data. Hit import, and basically, it's going to go through. It's going to talk to the API, and it's going to take each one of those rows that I selected and go find that match in Goldmine and create a detail. So you can see here, there was only one match, successful. Detail entry created for the Goldmine contact record with account now. And ideally, this account now is what is used in the programming. Ideally, I could update this to say Goldmine contact John Doe. I could pull out the contact name in the coding. I haven't done that. I've used the account now because that's what's unique and so forth. But basically, you can see there's these all errored out. The other ones that I selected because there's no Goldmine contact found, right, with that key value. This one found a contact and created a detail. So let's go look at that record on my Goldmine now. If I go out and refresh this record, well, there it is, YGC codes. So that was imported from that CSV file import. So Goldmine does have an import wizard, but it really only lets you create new records, right? It doesn't really have good deduping built in. It's very limited deduping. It doesn't allow you to create additionals. It doesn't allow you to create details. It doesn't allow you to create, schedule a call or create a history. We could basically take this same type of idea of using a CSV file import and use it to import massive amounts of data and customize the import. Maybe you need a dupe check. Does the company name, does the contact name match up? Does the phone number match? Does the email address already exist? If it already exists, don't create a new record, update the existing record. And when we create the record, maybe schedule a call for a rep to say, hey, here's a new record. Or maybe you want to create a history entry to indicate that this was created from a CSV file, etc. All that could be done through that custom CSV import job, and all you would have to do is click a button, choose your file. It's going to automatically extract all the data, put it into the data table. And then once that's done, it's going to allow you to hit the import data project. And again, this is, you saw 7,000 records. It took what, 30, 12 seconds, 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds for it to format all that, and then hit boom and hit import. Now, 7,000 records, it might take that 2, 3 minutes to import 7,000 records. You'd basically hit import. And when you do that, I mean, I'll hit it, you'll see it. It's basically just say importing data. Please wait a moment, right? It's going to wait and wait and wait. But what's happening in the back end is on this computer, I have a little web script that's taking that data using the API to create those entries and the details. Again, only in my database there's one, but because I told it to process all 7,070, it's going through all 7,000 saying, hey, find that record, find a record, find a record. And if no record is found, it doesn't create the detail. Just it's going to return those results. This will take 2 or 3 minutes, so I'm not going to wait. Basically, you could like any app, you could just reload it and say, hey, I want to do something else. That data is still being processed on the server, and eventually it will return results back to the user if you left it on the other screen. So that's what I wanted to show you today, is a little custom CSV file importer. Again, this is something that's locally hosted on your inside your office. I haven't made this available to the public, the outside world. This is something you would envision people outside the office needing to use. If you did, we certainly could set it up for them to log in and access it from outside the office and import data into Goldmine from maybe their home or whatever. But this client's needs were very specific. He didn't need that, so we left it as a locally hosted. Not a publicly hosted web app that was available on the internet. It's just something available locally. So that's today's presentation, CSV file import for Goldmine, a very customized import process. If you have any questions, please contact us at First Direct, 845-221-3800. Thank you.